today is day 8 of our Lent readings. Lent is the 40-day countdown to Easter, where we are talking about who Jesus is, why he came, and what that means for you and me. We want to take this season to let our hearts connect with God, to give up bad things in our life so we can have more of Jesus and be filled with his love and follow him closer and deeper and better and in an amazing way. We've been reading from the Easter Storybook, 40 Bible stories showing who Jesus is. This book is by Laura Ritchie and it's illustrated by Ian Dale. So today, day 8 is Jesus Walks on Water from Matthew 14, Mark 6, and John 6. So if you have your 40 days of Lent prayer strips, go ahead and rip off day 8 and get ready to pray when we're done with our reading. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Psalm 23:4. When Jesus fed 5,000 hungry people in the wilderness, everyone was excited. Herod, the bad king, had a party that ended in death. Jesus, the King of Kings, provided a banquet that gave life. After the people had eaten, Jesus told his disciples to go ahead of him in a boat to the other shore. Then he told the crowds to go home. Jesus was alone, and he went up on a mountain to pray. By this time, the boat was a long way from land, and the wind and the waves were pushing against it. Sometime before dawn, the disciples saw something coming toward them, walking on the water. Was it a ghost? Jesus' friends were terrified. Then the figure said, "Take heart, it is I. Do not be afraid." Matthew 14:27. It was Jesus. Peter said, "Lord, if it is you, tell me to come to you on the water." "Come," Jesus said. Peter got out of the boat and walked toward Jesus on the water. But when Peter saw the wind and the waves, he began to sink. Peter was afraid and cried out, "Lord, save me!" And Jesus reached out and saved him. When Jesus and Peter climbed back into the boat, the wind stopped, and the disciples were amazed. Jesus had healed people, fed them, and forgiven them. Jesus was doing the same good things God had done for his people since the beginning of the world. Peter and the other disciples saw that Jesus was special. They began to understand that Jesus was the Messiah, God's promised son. And those in the boat worshiped him, saying, "Truly, you are the Son of God." Matthew 14:33. Have you ever felt afraid? And who can protect you? I know that I've been afraid before. There was a time in my life when I was really, really sick. I had a sickness called cancer. You've probably heard of it before, and it's a sickness that is, you can die from it. And I spent a long time being very, very sick and not knowing if I was going to live or die. But I knew, even when I was sick, even when I was afraid of what was going to happen, that Jesus loves me and that he was caring for me and watching over me. And look, I'm still here. I'm all better, and I haven't been sick for a really long time. Whenever we are afraid, we know that we can trust Jesus, that he loves us, that he cares for us, that he's watching over us, and we are never alone. So if you feel afraid, maybe sometimes at night when you go to bed and it's dark, or maybe you have a parent who's not home all the time, maybe somebody in your family is sick, you can always turn to Jesus, lift those fears to him, and trust that he's going to watch over you and take care of you. That's one of the amazing things that we're celebrating about Jesus during Lent.